This tutorial discusses how to determine which sources are good for research and academic work. It includes information about the nature of authority and reliability. This tutorial has two parts, Part 1, With Their Authority, and Part 2, Citing Good Resources. Part 1, With Their Authority. In our darker moments, we might joke that an authority is someone who knows a lot of things we could care less about. But a good definition of authority is power to influence or persuade, resulting from knowledge or experience. Authority is valuable. If a teacher allows you to use websites in your paper, they have authoritative websites in mind. So, how can you determine what are reliable or authoritative sources, whether we are talking about people, documents, or websites? Sometimes the answers are easy. If you want to know how to perfectly make your mom's famous blueberry pie, you can ask her. But in many other situations, our answer to this question will be more complex. Most likely our answer to the question, how can you determine what are reliable or authoritative sources, will include concepts like the following. Expertise, and here we think of words like competence, skill, and creativity. Knowledge, and here we might think of words like studied, judgment, and wisdom. And character, and here we might think of words like reputation, the Greek word ethos, and wisdom. These are some of the basic ideas we all have. How much we lean on these things to answer each question will depend on how important the question is. On the negative side, we should have concerns about general human ignorance and our ability to be misled. After all, people tend to look for and favor information that confirms their preconceptions. This is called confirmation or verification bias. It also seems we are attracted to confident people, as well as ideas that are popular with others. Most disconcertingly, sometimes even those considered top experts in this or that field or discipline are shown to be fraudulent. See yourself as a detective of sorts, who is going to use curiosity, creativity, and leatherfoot journalism to get the full story, uncovering factual evidence, seeking out what's true. As you do this, you may want to run your sources through the CRAP test, a diagnostic developed by California State University. Does your information need to be current, and is it? How relevant is your source to the topic you are exploring? Authority. Consider the source. Is he or she qualified to speak on this issue? Is your source accurate? Can given facts be cross-referenced? Purpose. Can you determine some of the reasons for why something was said by a source or was in a resource? To consider this CRAP diagnostic in more detail, check out the How Can I Find and Evaluate Quality Websites for Academic Work tutorial. Of course, the CRAP tool and the tips we've discussed aren't perfect, and none of this is a substitute for paying close attention to human nature in general. If you want to ramp up your critical thinking in this regard, take a moment to pause this tutorial now and consider the following statements. Part 2. Citing Good Resources. When you are finally ready to incorporate your resources into your paper or project, excellent help in how to properly cite these resources can be found on this authoritative website. That said, note that the most important thing about citation is not that you format them properly, although doing this the way your teacher wants is important, or even to avoid plagiarism. As English professor Rolf Norgard makes clear, citation can also be seen as an aid to framing questions, establishing currency and credibility, advertising allegiances, and exploring disagreements and open questions. Things like footnotes don't sound as boring when we hear that they can help us focus on the practice of history and the flesh and blood jealousies, mistakes, and falsehoods which lie behind even the driest of academic pursuits. One of the insights of this book. I just took that quotation from an Amazon book review. Is that okay? Well, as a general rule of thumb for basic college writing, no. The same goes for Wikipedia. But if you are a recognized authority on a particular topic and come across a Wikipedia entry that beautifully sums up some actual knowledge that you have, citing Wikipedia, in this instance, can be very appropriate. It all has to do with having more advanced knowledge. Most people who have this go beyond the internet. At this point, I should mention that the library has access to books and journals that are not freely available on the web. Often, we must pay for the best information, and this the library has done. That said, just because you use these resources does not mean you should leave the CRAP diagnostic and your critical thinking abilities at the door. In the end, we must think for ourselves about who we are going to trust. We are responsible for which authorities we align ourselves with. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please contact the reference desk.